He told me, and he told me about you, about your village, your people, and your forest.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 things only adults notice in Studio Ghibli movies.
I never went back to the shelter.
For this list, we'll be looking at the most notable moments from these animated films that we missed as kids. Since we'll be taking a deeper dive into these movies, be warned that there are spoilers ahead. What's your favorite Studio Ghibli movie? Let us know in the comments below. Number 10. References to UK politics, Castle in the Sky. In 1984, critically acclaimed director Hayao Miyazaki went to Wales. He found his experience to be particularly impactful, later using Welsh architecture and aesthetics as influences for his 1986 adventure film Castle in the Sky.
We're just not having any luck.
Maybe we would if we tried digging the mines just east of here. I don't know, those mines are worse than this one.
You may not have realized that the mining town in this animated feature was also inspired by European politics of the time. Beginning in 1984, miners all across the UK fought their government in a bid to keep collieries open. The strength of the men touched Miyazaki, who attributed their resilient qualities to the miners in his own film.
Think you're tough, don't you?
I'm tough enough.
We'll see about that.
Just go away. We're honest folks here.
Indeed, the characters in Castle in the Sky are not afraid to fight for what or who they love.
The rocks talk to you?
Oh yes, Botsu. The earth speaks to all of us. And if we listen, we can understand.
Number 9. Themes of Pacifism, Howl's Moving Castle. In response to the US's decision to invade Iraq, Hayao Miyazaki decided to create a movie America wouldn't embrace. Funnily enough, Howl's Moving Castle ended up earning an Oscar nomination for Best Animated Feature.
This place is gorgeous, Hal! It's like a dream.
Its romantic and whimsical nature has been enchanting us since we were young, but when revisiting the film as an adult, it's the messages on the pointlessness of war that stand out.
This war is terrible. They've bombed from the southern coast to the northern border. It's all in flames now.
While anti-violence is a common theme in Studio Ghibli productions, Howl's lack of subtlety makes it particularly brutal. The effects of war dehumanize the titular character, causing him to transform into a monstrous creature in danger of losing himself. But compassion and love win in the end, warming our hearts and leaving us with a pacifistic message.
I've had enough of running away, Sophie. And now I've got something I want to protect. It's you.
Number 8. When creation turns to destruction, The Wind Rises. The Wind Rises is a work of fiction, but it draws on the story of the real-life Jiro Horikoshi.
Airplanes are beautiful dreams. Engineers turn dreams into reality.
Yes! Horikoshi was the designer behind various Japanese warplanes. Though he wasn't a fan of the Second World War, his creations were utilized in battles that brought much death and destruction. Given this heavy and complex context, Hayao Miyazaki was hesitant to adapt the story into a kids' movie.
So I gave up on that idea.
But he was convinced by a Ghibli worker that it might be beneficial to do just that. Granted, younger audiences may not fully understand themes of creation at the expense of destruction, or the corruption of imagination. But adults watching will surely feel the burden that was born from Jiro's aeronautical love.
Truly, a masterful design.
Not a single one returned.
There was nothing to return to.
Number 7. Chihiro's parents are literally and figuratively pigs. Spirited Away. Hayao Miyazaki's masterpiece Spirited Away is one of the most iconic and beloved animated films of all time.
You did it, Chihiro! I remember I was the spirit of the Kohaku River!
A river spirit?
Though it's ultimately a coming-of-age story, adults may notice the exploration of westernization through Yubaba's aesthetic and capitalistic ethics.
I don't want to hear such a stupid request. You're just a stinking, useless weakling.
Additionally, older audiences might pick up on references to Japan's bubble economy of the 80s that ultimately had long-lasting negative effects. Though the comments seem incidental at first, Chihiro's parents later embody the characteristics that led to the country's economic collapse in the first place.
Don't worry. You've got Daddy here. He's got credit cards and cash.
The two indulge in food that does not belong to them, disregarding the impact of their actions. In one of the film's most memorable scenes, their greediness leads to them becoming pigs, both physically and figuratively. Number 6. Tombo's Brush with Death, Kiki's Delivery Service. This 1989 flick is often remembered for its playful tone and heartwarming coming-of-age story.
Could you tell me, is it really hard to get settled into a brand new city?
Oh yes, a lot can go wrong.
Young witch Kiki must try to regain her powers and her self-confidence, and for the majority of the runtime, that's the most high-stakes plot point.
Gigi, I think something's wrong with me. I meet a lot of people, and at first everything seems to be going okay. But then I start feeling like such an outsider.
However, things get darker when her love interest, Tombo, gets embroiled in an airborne disaster and ends up fighting for his life. Older audiences may notice how the visuals and commentary here echo that of the 1937 Hindenburg disaster. Regardless, watching Tombo hanging midair with just a rope to hold onto while Kiki struggles to help him reinforces how horrifying the situation was. The results are some of the most tense moments we've ever seen in a Studio Ghibli film. Number 5. What Could Have Been, When Marnie Was There. When Marnie Was There is a psychological drama that follows Anna Sasaki, a young girl who unknowingly befriends the spirit of her deceased grandmother.
Are you okay? Yeah. Good. Are you real?
The film delves into the complexities of familial relationships and how they can affect individuals through feelings of abandonment or belonging. This is all heightened by Anna's struggle as a foster child.
I know they didn't die on purpose, but sometimes I feel like I can't forgive them for leaving me all alone.
While the goal was to make kids grappling with similar feelings feel seen, watching the movie as an adult might send you into an existential spiral. The story sheds light on the what-ifs of loved ones you may never know and possibilities that may never be. It's a deep notion that evokes feelings of unattainable yearning.
Look for me again, Anna. And don't tell anyone our precious secret.
Number 4. Humanity Must Learn. Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. When a movie is set in a post-apocalyptic world where civilization as we know it and most of the Earth's ecosystem has been destroyed, you know it's going to get serious. In Nausicaa, the kingdom attempts to raise a humanoid bioweapon to destroy what the war has left behind. Huge, mutated critters.
Amazing. I've never seen a whole shell before.
However, their plans are foiled by a humane and compassionate girl who advocates for humans and insects to live in harmony.
I found that with clean water and soil, the plants from the toxic jungle aren't poisonous. All the poison is in the soil.
Otherwise, there will only be more death and destruction, like before. Through her love and understanding, a message grown-up audiences can take to heart forms. We must learn from the past in order to avoid making the same mistakes in the future.
I had no idea that my rage could drive me to kill. No more killing, it has to stop.
Number 3. A symbol of rebirth. My Neighbor Totoro. Since its release, My Neighbor Totoro has become one of the most recognizable animated features from Studio Ghibli.
Daddy, May was just telling me she saw a big Totoro.
A real one?
Mm-hmm. This way.
The story itself deviates from typical tropes used in children's movies, lacking a singular conflict or villain in favor of more situational analyses.
I wouldn't be at all surprised if they suffered more than we know. In particular, Satsuki, because she's so smart and sensitive.
One particular moment gives pause to these joyous tones, however. One night, Mei and Satsuki see Totoro and other forest spirits performing a ceremonial dance as a giant tree blooms from the ground. The animation of the tree resembles that of the mushroom clouds that caused so much damage in Nagasaki and Hiroshima. Taking an image that would normally evoke pain and transforming it to represent new life creates a melancholic, poignant moment. Number 2. The Consequences of War. Grave of the Fireflies. As we've mentioned, Studio Ghibli films generally advocate for love and compassion, imparting anti-war messages.
September 21st, 1945. That was the night I died.
And though the director of Grave of the Fireflies has denied the film having such commentary, it's hard not to see some. The two main characters become orphans after a tragedy in World War II, and go on to endure unimaginable struggles.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll never do it again. I swear.
Tell it to the cops. I'll take you there myself.
Though they're not directly involved in the war, they are forced to deal with the consequences brought upon them by older generations. It's certainly not fair, and in the end, makes for one of the most heartbreaking and impactful stories out there. While the subject matter is a bit heavy for children, Grown-ups may have a harder time coping with these themes.
Time for bed, okay?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Eternal Foes, Princess Mononoke. Princess Mononoke is perhaps Studio Ghibli's most forthright film when it comes to environmentalism.
First you steal the boar's forest from him, then transform him into a demon. Now you're making even deadlier weapons. How much more hatred and pain do you think we need?
It highlights the eternal struggle between human civilization and nature in complex ways, especially for a children's movie. The target audience may not fully grasp the nuances in the exploration of good and evil when it comes to our environment, but adults can surely appreciate Hayao Miyazaki's storytelling.
We are here to kill the humans and save the forest. Why are there humans here, Maro?
Rather than adhering to black and white narrative, Princess Mononoke paints its characters and plot in colors of gray. We understand Lady Eboshi's desire to protect her town, but her actions have devastating consequences. In the end, the film serves as a warning that humanity and nature have a delicate relationship and must learn to live in harmony.
Now watch closely, everyone. I'm going to show you how to kill a god. A god of life and death.
Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.